Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a bit unreal, to be perfectly honest. 50 years ago, along with a few people in this room, my father started this party, along with the late Lord Bandside. And I believe joined it 40 years ago after the murder of the Reverend Robert Bradford, Member of Parliament, Ulster Unionist Member of Parliament. So I believe that this party was a channel for me to express my unionism, my passion, and my strength for that union. First of all, tonight, I want to thank Lord Morrow for conducting tonight's proceedings in such an able manner. Morris, you faced many challenges over the years as chairman, and no doubt the past few weeks have been very challenging as well. But as usual, you have risen to that challenge. And I can think of no better chairman to celebrate the 100th anniversary of this Northern Ireland within the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and indeed the 50th anniversary of this party. And I want to take opportunity also to pay tribute to my predecessor. I know that the last few weeks has been difficult for her, as they have been for all of us. But I can say honestly that no matter what background or place we come from, Arlene is and will be regarded as one of the most foremost women in unionist and British politics. Irrespective of our differences in any issues that have brought us here this evening, she is admired by us all. She had made history in her time in politics, and no doubt will go on to do even greater things. History will ultimately be kind to her in its final analysis, and I wish her and her family well. I'm delighted to have Paula on the team with me. The challenges for her will be immense, and she will be filling seats previously occupied by statesmen such as Peter Robinson and Nigel Dodds. And I welcome Paula not just as a critical friend, but as a vital friend. Can I also pay tribute to Geoffrey and Gregory for the contest? It was a fair contest. It was a close contest. I have to say, Geoffrey and I have worked in Lagan Valley for many, many years, decades. And we've never had a crossword in the constituency. And Geoffrey has a key role, as does Gregory, in going forward in this party. We're a party of many characters and people of individual and strong personalities, but we're bound together in this greatest cause that can inspire any man or woman, and that is patriotism for our country and our place in the nation of the UK. Despite our backgrounds, our attitudes, our social identity that is varied, our unity is found in that core passion that we are British people whose forefathers made this country and who intend to ensure that generations of our grandchildren will continue to inherit it. When I spoke to the Electoral College, I reminded them of our great history. Let me share some of those thoughts as they will serve, I hope, to inspire you for the battle ahead. 100 years ago, when it was birth year, the King in a remarkable speech to the nation on our grandparents' generation said to stretch out the hand of forbearance to one another and build a new country. His wise words were aimed at all of the people of this new devolved state. But today these words ought to be in the foundation stone of how we intend to rebuild, reunite, and reinvigorate our party, unionism, and our great wee country. Forbearance to one another's differences is not capitulation of one idea over another. It is instead toleration. We must face up to some realities as members of this great party. We can be the building block and instrument of the next 100 years of Northern Ireland's success story. But if we want to be successful, we must be united. I'm aware of differences of opinion and personalities, but none of that should stop us from committing this evening to a line in the sand and being honest with each other that we intend to move on in step with one another. The challenge is there for us all to see, but the prize of our country and its place in the Union is worth personal sacrifice. And personally, I stretch my hand of forbearance out to all my party colleagues on the perceived left or right of this party. To all strands of the party, I say we must and shall come together. Our strength comes from the sum of all our parts. I see no difference in the unionism of my constituency friend and colleague Sir Geoffrey, or Gregory, or Paula, as I do in the identities and beliefs that I have. So let us agree to go forward in a spirit of unity of purpose, to put aside those differences and focus on the great prize. The fact is that each and every one of you will have a key role to play in the months ahead under my leadership to unite and strengthen unionism. What lies ahead of us will be the greatest titanic struggle of an election. I've not entered this leadership race lightly, in the belief that things will be easy. It is in fact because I know of the challenges that I've gamed out a strategy for us to win the next election. Make no mistake about it, ladies and gentlemen, the election to the next Assembly has started. I will be appointing my Director of Elections and Campaign team and finalising selections for the Assembly election quickly so we can take the summer months and re-engage with our electorate after COVID-19. I know that they feel marginalised and disengaged. The polls are against us because people think our backs are against the wall, but make no mistake about it. When unionism's back is against the wall, history has proven that we will come out fighting. We have a job of work to do, to motivate, inspire our supporters, to rekindle their support for this party and to save the Union. And we can only change if we grasp now some very necessary reforms. Most importantly of all, we must draw all strands of this party together, setting aside the differences and combining our strengths and focusing on that great prize and destination that only unionism, guided by a strong democratic unionist party, can take us. As your leader, I will listen to you, and I will deploy and utilise the skills of all of you, not just a favoured few, in the months ahead. And that is why the reform agenda I have promoted in this leadership contest is critical not just to this party, but to the Union itself. No longer can the policy and the decisions of the DUP be left with a handful of people. Our MPs and MLAs and councillors are constantly in touch with people. The knowledge they gain is central and should be central to devising our policies on the way ahead. We need to have a strategic vision which is deliverable. Respect must be at the heart of how we operate, and I want to bring back the strengths of the family style, where we once vigorously argued out the way forward, arrived at a position, and we all adopted as our own and defended each other as we would defend ourselves. Because if we ever need full firepower, then it is for the battle ahead, in which there will be no discharge, because we will be fighting for the very survival of the Union that we hold dear. We must get back into the ways of convincingly winning elections. And the recent Lucid poll is a wish list of our enemy. We must determine that we will show them that they have underestimated unionism at its peril. And as leader, I will set you on a course of winning elections. Under my leadership, the Assembly election begins now, and we will immediately be on election footing, and everything we do will be about securing the seats of our Assembly members and stretching to win more. I will be a builder for unionism, restoring, re-energising, not grandstanding or issuing threats or warnings. Our institutions are not a bargaining chip in our campaign to get rid of the protocol. We will consistently roll back the objectionable provisions of the protocol as we have been doing. And that involves arguing our case forcefully and with conviction. It involves making Brussels and Dublin aware that the protocol is intolerable and unworkable. Legal challenges are one correct tactic, but the guaranteed way of ridding ourselves of the divisive protocol is through the Assembly. When that time comes, if we haven't achieved it before, increase our representation to ensure we have the necessary majority to bring this protocol to an end. In the meantime, we will employ political tactics to continue the pressure and let Dublin see that it isn't some hiccup, but rather something that has the worrying capacity to destabilise relationships that they have gained most from. My strategy involves engaging with other unionist parties to maximise our support and does not place your seat in danger. The union needs every single candidate who is up for election for the Democratic Unionist Party to win. And my leadership will be about supporting you to get over that winning line. I will embolden you with my support. The loss of voters to the left means we have a job to do. No longer submissively allowing unionism to absorb attack after attack from our political enemies. It is time to expose our rivals, whether it's the Alliance Party, who want to kill off academic selection and grammar schools with it. They want to drive up red tape for business and cost to consumers and stop vital medicines coming from Great Britain to our people with their demand for the rigorous implementation of the protocol. The Alliance Party are a threat to our health service. They are neutral on the union. A vote for the Alliance Party facilitates a border poll and all of the uncertainty that goes with it. And it's not our only threat. By far the biggest enemy is those unionists who do not care enough to come out and vote. We must be the unionist party that inspires them to re-engage and get out to vote. Our vote hasn't gone a straight switch to Alliance. That is propaganda. Our vote is largely sitting at home, unimpressed and disengaged. Well, that is where we must target our efforts, and that means work on the ground. I want a unionist convention. We need to reawaken people to the benefits of the union. I want a united unionist coalition going into the next Assembly elections. We can retain our own party identity, but have cooperation, particularly in vote management, as we seek to achieve a unionist majority in the Assembly elections. The 2017 Westminster election demonstrates that there is a massive pro-union electorate and majority. And the only way of stopping a border poll is to vote unionist. The only way to ensure that we get rid of the protocol is to win a unionist majority, so we have everything to play for. I've already been engaging across unionism and with working class loyalists in the past week. We will have a job to do in bringing all of our people back into the DUP fold. Now let me deal with the protocol. I have commissioned legal action against the protocol, and under my leadership I will bring other departments to join this action to restrict by law the protocol. Why do you think Jim Allister is always attacking me? Because it's my leadership that he feared the most. And inspiring our community to get up and vote with purpose is what we must now focus on as we enter this election. We must get ahead in this election race so that when the Churchillian-like phony war is over and when the heat of the real election war begins, that the DUP are so far ahead, we will show our competitors a clean pair of heels. So if you're up for this battle, if you're ready for change and reach the full potential of this party, then join with me on this journey. If, like me, you want to build a stronger union and secure your place in it, then join me in doing that. And if you want to see real and meaningful reform, a vibrant campaigning party that knows what it stands for, then I will give you the leadership and the freedom to win. Thank you very much.
Thank you, party leader. Well done, and we look forward to more of that, and in the days and weeks and months and years ahead. Those of us who'll be around. Now, I want you to give a rousing welcome to our new deputy leader, Paula Bradley, MLA. Paula.
My goodness, follow that. Wow. Can I just begin by wishing my colleague, Edwin Poots, many congratulations as the new leader of our great party. It is my absolute privilege to stand here this evening to serve you as our party's first female deputy leader. Can I thank this executive for their resounding support? It has been truly overwhelming. Before I begin, I first want to acknowledge the dedication and service to our party by both Arlene and Nigel, and pass on my good wishes for their future pursuits. I also want to commend Jeffrey and Gregory on a fair campaign in the election process. I have the utmost respect for both of them, and I know that their support in this party going forward will be invaluable. At this stage, I will apologise to my fellow electoral colleagues, because much of what I'm about to say they've already heard. But I thought it was vitally important that this executive also got the chance to understand why I put my name forward for deputy leader. Executive members, just over 3 weeks ago, I did not expect, nor could I have ever imagined that I would be here, having been elected as deputy leader of our party. But the more consideration I gave it at the time, it became clear that I had much more to contribute to our cause. I know it will not be easy. I know I have massive shoes to fill. But those of you that know me best will testify that I'm not someone who ever takes a step back or ever shirks a challenge. I know the majority of you fairly well. My story is similar to many of yours, many of our supporters and many of our members. I grew up in a housing estate in South Antrim with 2 loving parents who, although were not political in any way, were strong DUP voters. The recurring themes of my life are service and fighting for the right cause. Like so many people during the Troubles, I was proud to wear the uniform of the Royal Ulster Constabulary. And in doing that, I was there to hold the line for all of our community in the fight against terrorism. After policing, I then entered the arena of social work, where I developed a passion for helping those most vulnerable in our society. And for the last 16 years, I've been fortunate to be an elected member of this great party in Newton Abbey Borough Council, and most recently as one of the Assembly members for North Belfast. Throughout those years, I have placed a premium on remaining connected to the people who put me here, keeping my feet in the ground, not being remote, and fundamentally understanding what real life is like for the people out there. This will always remain crucially important to me. It is those values of service, standing up for people, and being a strong voice that I will bring to the job of Deputy Leader. There are 3 things I assure you that I will always be. Firstly, that critical friend to our new leader. I have the utmost respect for Edwin, and it will be an honour to serve with him as Deputy Leader. Secondly, I pledge to be a listening ear and also to be your voice within our leadership team. I know there has been a sense of frustration that has set in at various levels across our party. I know that at times some have not always felt valued or supported. I know this because I've spoken with many of you on these issues. I get it. I know those issues. I too have lived those issues. No one in our great DUP should ever feel undervalued or at sea. Things can change and will change. I vow to be a conduit for elected members and our wider membership base to the leadership so that each and every one of us can contribute and participate fully in the work that this party does. Finally, whatever the task, whether it is implementing those reforms that our party so badly needs, or being an advocate for our party, the country we love, and the union, be it on the airwaves or in our communities, I will roll up my sleeves and get stuck right in. I also know that none of us is in any doubt of the scale of the job at hand. Nothing less than the future of our great union is at stake. Ladies and gentlemen, with me, what you see is what you get. I'm straight talking, and I've been known on occasion to wear my heart on my sleeve. But I'm strong, I'm proud, Belfast woman, and I give everything I do, 100% of my energy. I have served this country for all of my working life. I have served this party for as long as I can remember. And as this party's deputy leader, I assure you that I will take on this hugely important role to the very best of my ability and give it my all. As we come together after this evening and begin the countdown to next year's Assembly election, our new leader will need all of us to play our part and give everything we have in the battle before us. I will not be found wanting when it comes to projecting the kind of strength and confidence our party needs to win back people's trust. Thank you.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to almost a close. Another hour should see us through. But just I want to say 2 things before you leave. The next time you meet like this, whether it's here or somewhere else, it'll be your annual general meeting of the executive. That puts out a wee challenge to you all. Make sure you get your new delegates or return to your delegates. That means your Fermanagh South Tyrone Association should meet, and all the associations, and have your meeting at your annual general meeting and select their delegates. Now, this has been a good day. It's a good day where Northern Ireland goes forward from, and we are not a defeated bunch. We are very much alive and well. and there's a kick in us yet, and we're sending that message out loud and clear that we are not going away. We most certainly are not. So thank you for your forbearance. It's been a long evening, and I know you want to get up the road, but before you do that, we're going to sing the national anthem. Why not? Save our gracious Queen, long live our noble Queen. God save our Queen. Send her victorious, happy and glorious, long to